Welcome back to Shishou Chousen 6. In the last episode, the run took place, and after Cal Brunel got off to an early lead, it was won by Nate Brennan. The first stage results were decided, and the first stage began. In the first stage, Christina Canizzo repeated her failure at the jump hang. Rihanna Sutton chickened out on the jump hang, repeating her chickening out. Austin Gould failed the slider jump. Dan Giles failed the jump hang for a third consecutive time. But failure was not the story of the last episode, as Jace Beattycap flew through the first stage, finishing with about 6 seconds remaining. After Jace, Tyler Barnes, a newcomer, took the course, and after almost losing his balance on the log jam, sped through the rest of the course and finished with 7 seconds remaining. All-star Adam Simbita returned and moved swiftly and smoothly through the first stage, not missing a single step and doing his mesmerizing dance early once again. Now, the rest of the field is ready to compete. Let's see how they do in this episode of Shishou Chousen.
Here we are now with Spencer Timmerman, age 17. This is his second time on the course. Last time he failed the slider jump.
Last time, Spencer sped through the course very nicely, but unfortunately met his match at the slider jump. He told me before the competition today that he had an interesting strategy to get through the slider jump this time, so we're all interested to see how he does on that. Meanwhile, he's flying through the rest of the course with his trademark jean shorts, and this time he's wearing a bit of a tank top. Adam Simbita referred to it as a wife beater, though for the sake of political correctness I will not call it a wife beater. But anyway, with his wife beater, he's speeding through the course, and now he's at the slider jump. Let's see how he does this time. Swinging himself nicely, gathering up all the necessary momentum. With just about 15 seconds remaining, he's already wasted about 10 seconds. Grabs it with his feet. That is interesting, and apparently legal also. Trying to get himself together before his time runs out. Can he do it? And he just gets past the stool in time. Spencer Timmerman is the next person to clear the first stage. And the highlight of his run was not his quickness and speed, but his interesting technique to get through the slider jump. Watch this again. He grabs it with his foot, with his feet, and he just hangs on that way. And though it's, I guess, frowned upon, it will be considered acceptable. Spencer Timmerman is the next person to clear the first stage.
Oh my god, see, that's what I meant. I really wouldn't have done that if I couldn't do it any other way.
Spencer, how do you feel for finally passing first stage?
Yeah!
Our next competitor is All-Star Ethan Sullivan at age 16. He first competed in the summer of 2009 and didn't jump on the slide jump. Last time, though, he did do very well in the slider jump, with the memorable getting his shirt caught. Alright. Then, while doing the unstable bridge, he fell into the problem that everybody else had. He didn't quite get far enough on the second. Well, actually, no, he didn't. He kind of just lost his balance. And after he failed, Adam gave him a very long, angry Spanish lecture.
Here we are with Ethan Sullivan, age 15. This is his third time on the course. Last time he completed stage 1, but failed the second course on the unstable bridge.
The wind is starting to pick up, and we're starting to get a few sprinkles. First time in Shishou Chousen history that it has ever rained, fortunately for us. Ethan gets through the logjam nicely, climbs up the ladder, and is ready to go back down. Ethan, of course, has competed several times now, and has been a perennial second stage competitor. Gets through the jump hang nicely with no problems. Has only about 30 seconds remaining. He's gotten through the course in about 30 seconds as well. That's because the time limit is a minute. You see, 60 seconds is a minute. Anyway, here he goes on the slider jump. He was the only one last time to actually come up with a correct technique, and he does it again, and he is going to have a very good time here, folks. finishing with 13.1 seconds. That is a very respectable time. Ethan Sullivan has cleared the first stage once again, flying through the jump hang and doing very well on the slider jump. It really saved him a lot of time because of that perfect technique he has. He saves a good 4 to 5 seconds just by swinging directly to the beam, and that is why he has the fastest time of the day so far. Ethan Sullivan, an all-star.
How's it feel? That's the fastest time, Ethan.
Super.
Oh,
I sure
man.
didn't get caught this time.
How do you think about the second stage? Do you think you'll be able to beat that unstable bridge?
No.
Now. Here we are with Nate Brennan, age 18. This is his second time on the course. Last time, he passed stage 1, but like Ethan Sullivan, failed the unstable bridge.
Nate's dramatic change in his hairstyle is due to the fact that he is joining the Naval Academy soon. I believe at this point he was going to RIT for a bit, and then he was going to the Naval Academy, but as of now he is in the Naval Academy. So that is why his hair is much shorter. Even though his hair is much shorter, he is still just as tall as he was before, and he's getting through the course at a relatively decent pace, getting to the jump hang with about 35 seconds remaining. Here he goes on the jump hang, and due to his long frame, it's not much difficulty for him at all to grab the bar and swing across. Here he goes for the slider jump, making sure the ladder doesn't tip over on him. It's a little shaky right now. Looks like somebody's going to come in and hold it for him. Well, maybe not. Anyway, he gets to the slider jump. Here he goes swinging himself. He's a little short on time. His foot hits the water, but because of his very tall frame, I allowed it. 5 seconds left, and he will get there just in time with just about 3 seconds remaining. Nate Brennan is the next person to clear. It seems like the first stage is becoming easier each time a competitor goes by. Nobody's failed in quite a while. And Nate did quite well. Even though his foot hit the water there, you just barely see it. I figured since the beam is only 7.5 feet above the water, he's really tall. Like, what else needs to be said? Anyway, Nate gets through the course and is the next person to clear.
From across the street, here is Mr. Matthew Bachmeyer. This is his first time on the course, and he is being beaten like a sick puppy.
Well said, Kyle. Anyway, Matt Bachmeyer lives just across the street from the studio. Hasn't made an appearance until now. Took him long enough, I guess. Actually took me a while to invite him. But anyway, he's here, and we're happy to have him. Matt actually speaks fluent German. He grew up in Germany and moved to America, I believe, when he was either 4 or 5 years old. He does admit, though, that he forgot a lot of it, but he says when his family comes to America, he has to speak fluent German, and that it usually catches up to him then. Anyway, he's running out of time, getting at the slider jump. Austin is holding the ladder for him, unlike Nate, and here he goes. Matt was quite concerned that he couldn't get through the jump hang, but now he's already at the slider jump. He's got less than 10 seconds left. He's got through the slider jump. All he has to do is get up and touch that buzzer. By buzzer, I mean stool. And he just barely makes it. Wow! Matt Bachmeyer barely makes it into the second stage with 1/10 of a second remaining. In the jump hang that he was afraid of, he just barely made that jump. And in the slider jump, he once again barely made that one, but he managed to also barely make it through the stage. Barely is a very good adjective, I guess, to describe Matt in his first stage run. Anyway, he got through the stage, and he's got only 1/10 of a second remaining, but either way, a stage clear is a stage clear.
Matt, how do you feel about passing?
Mein Fuß tun weh und meine Hände tun weh und ich muss scheißen gehen.
Very good. Here we are now with Mr. Ryan Shippey, age 15. This is his second time on the course. Last time he failed the second stage, I think.
Actually, it was the first stage, the slider jump. Ryan's one of those guys that's kind of sneaky cool. Like, he doesn't act cool, but he's pretty fun to be around. And here he is with those giant shoes, giving him a little trouble on the log jam. Oh, crap, it's shaking. Oh, shoot.
Oh,
Well, I think it's them giant shoes, Ryan. Them giant shoes hold you back. And that is why he fell. Him falling is kind of ironic, considering what he said after his last Shishou Chousen fail.
I'll get you next time, Shishou Chousen.
Whoops.
This is Kyle Brunau, age 15. On his last time competing, he made it past the first obstacle for the first time ever. How will he handle this new first obstacle? 3,
Yes, indeed, folks,
2,
the competitor you've
1,
all been waiting
go.
for. Kyle Brunel, here he goes. And there he goes.
Okay. Woo!
Did I win, Coach?
Yeah, you still need to get wet.
Here we are now with the one, the only, Corey Gaffney. This is his first time. This is his 5th time on Shishou Chousen. Last time he failed the jump.
Corey, of course, is indeed a Shishou Chousen All-Star. Unfortunately, he slips a little bit right there. Unfortunately, he hasn't made it to the second or third stage, for that matter, since May of 2008, and that was a long time ago. I was about a foot shorter, and my voice was about an octave higher. Corey makes it up the ladder climb, going very slowly. I believe at this point, Ethan was already at the slider jump. Corey, taking his time, slips a little bit, trying to get over, and makes his jump. Well, he makes his jump. Anyway, here he goes to the jump hang. At this point, just trying to see how far he can get. Here he goes, and he has failed it once again for the 3rd time in a row. Corey Gaffney, well, he's once again a very slow run, slips right there a little bit, and his jump was just about a foot short. And,
Corey,
well,
what are you going to do? What are you going to
I
do?
failed my family and I failed my country.
No, Corey. It doesn't have to. No! Now my vuvuzella's all dirty. Here he is, the man you've all been waiting for. Eric Woolham, age 15. Unfortunately, he could not compete last time due to injuries of his calf. Now he's ready to tear this course a new one.
That's right, Kyle. 2 weeks before the last tournament, Eric actually strained his right calf warming up for a baseball game against a rival team. Anyways, here he goes in the log jam very slowly. Doesn't want to lose his balance here. Doesn't want to mess up on one of the easier obstacles. Pacing himself nicely. Eric, of course, made it to the final rope last time, missing the final buzzer by less than a second. He said he's back today, ready to avenge his defeat. Here he is getting ready for the jump hang with about 32 seconds left. Makes the jump nicely and gets across with no problem. Eric is making his way to the slider jump now with his poor haircut and Corey waving in the background. And he makes his jump nicely using the proper technique, and he will be another first stage victor. And now we have it. The first stage is complete. Eric Woolham makes it through to wrap up stage 1 of Shishou Chousen 6. He had no difficulties at all in the jump hang or the slider jump, the 2 toughest obstacles of the course. Next time on Shishou Chousen 6, the competitors face the tough, familiar obstacles of stage 2. Will any of the competitors survive and make it to the Elite Stage 3? Tune in for our next Shishou Chousen 6.